and all day. Tune in to watch NTA Sports 24 on Star Times Channel 270, Star Sat on Channel 434, and Free TV on Channel 731. NTA Sports 24, where sports thrive.
Hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Issues in the sports sector remain one of the most debated among Nigerians due to the passion, followership, government involvement, impact on Nigeria's external image and our national life in the sports parliament. The NTA offers Nigerians deep views on issues with experts in the sports sector, offering in-depth analysis, hindsight, insight and foresight towards elevating Nigerian sports to the zenith on the floor of the sports parliament. Sports Parliament, a unique platform for sports discussions, showing live on the NTA. Keep a date with the parliamentarians.
Your eyes have it.
wannan labarin ma yana peji na 36.
Ita kuma babban labarin wannan jarida shine ainihin
labarin da ke gaban jarida shine ta bayyana cewa
ọkwa ji ikenga eziokwu
nwanne m nwoke
Ikechukwu Ndukwe Igbo
mam iji wee mee ka ụbọchị na-aga n'anya ya
ọjụtụtụ na-ewutelu
nation fún ti òwúrọ̀ yìí ibẹ̀ náà ti sọ pé àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ ìpínlẹ̀ Benue pàṣẹ wípé
ní gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀ka ní ẹ̀ka ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ní ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera ní ẹ̀ka ètò ààbò.
Hello, it is 9 p.m. How was your day? And for the Muslim Ummah, how is the fast going? It says News Extra Time, and so here is Fatima. And I can tell you it is a good harvest of stories, beginning with the Federal Executive Council, where education and aviation received heavy dose of approvals. We also navigate to the National Assembly, where the distinguished and honorables, as usual, are putting up motions and bills for our corporate survival. In other news, security for 2023 elections and the electorate get the attention of the DSS. We have an array of special reports highlighting life and businesses under bridges. A day on the ever-busy Nyamasaka Highway in the FCT, and of course, the benefits of a multilingual community. Now, these are just the tip of what tonight's package is all about. If your appetite is whetted, sit back and enjoy the full package. After all, the taste of the pudding is in the eating. I am Fatima Buba, and this is News Extra. You're welcome. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen. The Federal Executive Council has approved the issuance of provisional licenses for the establishment of 12 new private universities in the country. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed announced this while briefing journalists after the meeting of the council. State House correspondent Adam Sambo reports on this and other issues relating to the security and economy.
Presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari, considered and approved 8 memoranda from ministries, departments and agencies, one of them from the National Universities Commission on the establishment of 12 new private universities across Nigeria for enhanced tertiary education.
We have a population of about 200 million people, and we have just about 200 universities. While countries like Indonesia have about 1,200 universities. We cannot fold our hands because ASU is on strike, so we will not expand the educational facility. We will do so when we know that today 65% of eligible students to university are just roaming the streets.
The council also approved the augmentation of contract for the construction of National Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center in Abuja, initially awarded at 9.5 billion naira in 2020. Similarly, the FCT administration secured an approval of 1.3 billion naira augmentation for the extension of Inner Southern Expressway from the Outer Southern Expressway to the Southern Parkway, raising the total contract sum to 18.5 billion naira. Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed used the opportunity to confirm the recent terror attack on a military base in Birnin-Gwari area of Kaduna State.
But what was not reported was the very timely and efficient manner it was repelled, and the huge casualties suffered by the bandits terrorists. This is an asymmetrical war in which we are not at liberty always to tell you in details how the camps of the bandits and terrorists are being decimated daily. We can assure you that we're on top of this matter.
The minister also described as baseless, unfounded and mischievous insinuations in some quarters that the nation's economy under the Buhari presidency is worse than inherited.
They are taking this data out of context. This administration is doing a lot. When we came in, the entire local production of rice in this country was under 4 million metric tons. Today is 7.5 million metric tons. When we came in, there were only 15 standard rice mills in Nigeria. We have over 50 standard rice mills in Nigeria today. Over 4.8 million farmers in Nigeria today benefit from the Anchor Borrows program. We have records. We have a story to tell about what we have done in the area of agriculture, for instance.
The unfortunate increase in prices of food items in the market, Lai Mohammed maintains, is a global phenomenon, but appeal to farmers in Nigeria to take the part of honor and reciprocate the unprecedented gesture of the government by stopping the sale of their produce across the borders. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the federal government has approved a 5.6 billion naira contract for the maintenance of the terminal buildings at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, and Port Harcourt International Airport. 14.2 billion naira has also been approved for the completion of the new terminal buildings and perishable cargo at Enugu and Asaba airports. The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, made this known at a media briefing after the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again has the report.
Been taken and approved.
The Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, had 5 memoranda that were considered and approved by the Council. Contract for the maintenance of Abuja and Port Harcourt airports, he explained, is in furtherance of the implementation of the Executive Order 11 signed by the President.
To ensure that all infrastructure is being maintained and so that they will remain as they are, perhaps even more improved with regular maintenance. And the other one is approval for the award of contract for the procurement of L3 X-ray machine parts and maintenance support services. This is also to do with maintenance in the sum of 469,679,484 naira.
The Council also approved a contract variation for the procurement, configuration, delivery and commissioning of transportable radars and tower control center for the enhancement of the northeast surveillance and safety of the air navigation operations at Maiduguri Airport.
Maiduguri was once the epicenter of our insecurity, and then we needed to be able to see through the radar to be able to pick up any metal in the sky. And we needed to do that in 24 hours, 7 days a week and 365 days in a year.
Approval has also been granted for the Ministry's 2021 capital budget for the construction of clinics for Abuja, Kano, Port Harcourt and Lagos airports, replacement of elevators and escalators in the Lagos Old Airport, as well as the development of cargo terminals at Katsina and Birnin Kebbi airports.
And lastly, procurement and maintenance of 100 units, check-in counters, weighing scales and spare parts at Murtala Mohammed Airport and Abuja.
The Ministry of Works and Housing presented one memorandum today to Council for the award of contract for the rehabilitation of the 118.9 kilometer Kefi Nasarawa Toto Road in Nasarawa State for 36.130 billion naira.
Water Resources Minister Suleiman Adamu also secured approval for the concession and redevelopment of K Maroon Complex at Ijora, Lagos, being managed by Ogun Oshun River Basin Development Authority.
The idea is to put this complex back to use, and therefore a 20-year concession was approved for the winner of the bid to rehabilitate the complex and then lease out the shops and the cold room facility and other facilities that are there so that revenue can come to the government.
This, the minister said, is in furtherance of the genuine efforts by the Buhari administration to revitalize the river basin development authorities to make them more responsive to the needs of their host communities and facilitate partial commercialization. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And determined to put a stop to the lackadaisical attitude of Nigerians on maintenance culture as bane of national development, President Muhammadu Buhari has signed an Executive Order 11. The new policy document sets out guidelines for the maintenance of federal government buildings and assets in order to ensure the protection and lasting utilization of such critical investments. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again has that.
Initiated by the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing and approved by the Federal Executive Council since 2019, the policy document sees maintenance of public buildings and facility management as a conscious economic driver through which skills of the technical and vocational institution graduates can be put into gainful and rewarding engagement. Executive Order 11, which ties maintenance directly to the economy, is put in place to ensure the fullest implementation and impact of the policy.
Maintenance of assets is more than a culture. It is an economy from which many can prosper, and we must nurture and water that economy by policy and actions that create opportunities and inclusion for our people. It is my hope that this order will open the door to this treasure of opportunities for young technicians, for artisans, for vendors and suppliers and for small businesses and cottage industries.
Already, the Office of the Head of Service of the Federation has approved the establishment of a Department of the Federal Public Assets Maintenance as a vital step towards supporting the implementation of the policy described as unprecedented in the nation's history.
While it is true that our economy has been diversified and the non-oil sector is leading in terms of contribution to the gross domestic product, the maintenance and facility management component of the services sector is an opportunity that is waiting to be maximized. By this order, I expect ministries, departments, and agencies to set up and ensure the operation of their maintenance departments and make necessary procurement for their maintenance in accordance with the provision of the Public Procurement Act.
Apart from enhancing job creation for skilled and unskilled labor, other expected benefits of the new policy includes the expansion of opportunities for micro, small, and medium enterprises who produce and supply all of the tools and materials required to support maintenance. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate redeployment of Mohammed Hassan Abdullahi as the new Minister of Environment with effect from 6th April 2022. Until his appointment, Mohammed Hassan Abdullahi was the Minister of State for Science, Technology and Innovation. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Baskira Mustafa, who conveyed the appointment in a statement, says the President hopes that the new Minister of Environment would bring his wealth of experience to bear on his new assignment for the growth of the country. Religious prejudice and intolerance will soon become criminal offences in Nigeria as the Senate considers a bill that seeks to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Unko has more on this.
The Nigerian Constitution already provides for freedom of religion, but there have been cases where this section of the law has been infringed upon. To put a check on such acts, the Senate introduced a bill that seeks to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission, which will monitor and prosecute all religious offenses in Nigeria. Senator Sadiq Omar is the sponsor.
Undertake studies on all matters related to religious rights and practices and assist the federal government in the formulation of appropriate policies on the guarantee of right to freedom from religious discrimination and victimization.
We are supposed to even have a Ministry of Religious Affairs.
To ensure that we have harmony, we have peace among citizens, and citizens are able to express and practice their belief as they so desire.
Of the National Religious Harmony Commission and for other matters connected there to 2022 second reading taken.
The Federal College of Education Arochukwu Abia State Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Oji Uzokalo, passed second reading, while the Federal Eye Center Ochandamu Kogi State Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Isa Jibrin, and the Federal University of Transport Daura, sponsored by Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari and Senator Ahmad Baba Kaita, passed third reading.
So that enabled the establishment of Federal College of Education Technical Abia State by converting the existing Abia State College of Education Technical to Federal Government College Technical
The envisaged university is a specialized one, and upon completion it will be the first of its kind in the whole of West African sub-region.
Senate adopted motions to investigate the immediate and remote causes of the failure of the Nigerian Super Eagles to qualify for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, moved by Senator Michael Nnachi, and the urgent need to extend the new rail line standard gauge from Kaduna to Jos, moved by Senator Nora Dadut.
Mandate the Committee on Sports to investigate the remote and immediate cause of the failure of the Super Eagles to qualify for 2022 World Cup despite the huge fund by government.
And when completed, this line is expected to meet the demands for the development of the national economy.
The National Institute of Information and Communication Technology, Oboloma Biri Bayelsa State Establishment Bill, sponsored by Senator Bio Barakuma Degeremioyo, passed first reading. Senate adopted the report of its Committee on Health on measures to check the issuance of fake COVID-19 test results to Nigerians in Ghana. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Now, when phone lines are dormant or inactive over a period, the practice by telecommunication companies is to reassign the lines to new subscribers without recourse to previous owners. This, the House of Representatives say, has led to breach of privacy and identity theft. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the House has resolved to conduct an investigation on the matter.
The resolution is equal to a motion from Steve Fatoba, who explained that many Nigerians are victims as illegal withdrawals are made from their accounts because their banks keep sending transaction details to their previous phone numbers, which have been reassigned to new subscribers.
The Nigerian Data Protection Regulation seeks to safeguard the right of natural persons to data privacy.
This translates to jealously guarding and protecting the fundamental human rights of Nigerians, the right to privacy.
House Committee on Telecommunications and Committee on Banking and Currency were mandated to investigate. Other motions adopted include the appeal from Afe on the need for authorities to curb oil spillage in Mereje district of Okpe and Sapele in Delta State, and that of Muraina Jibola, urging authorities to provide divisional police headquarters in Ayete, Oyo State.
This committee concerned the agrarian fishing communities. It has affected the economic activities of these communities in the two local government areas.
In the last 10 years, Barapa North local government area, including Ayete town, has experienced several violent attacks allegedly perpetrated by bandits and other criminals.
5 bills passed second reading, among them a bill to establish Federal Cancer Center in Toro, Bauchi State, sponsored by Muda Lawal. A bill to establish Federal College of Education, Dengi, Plateau State, from Yusuf Gagdi, and a bill to establish Federal Polytechnic, Ayede, Oyo State, sponsored by Shegun Odebumi.
Citing the said cancer center in Toro will not only be beneficial to the indigents of Toro local government of Nigeria, will be of tremendous benefit to the neighboring states and Nigeria as a whole.
I seek to establish the Federal College of Education, Dengi, Kanam, Plateau State, to ensure equity access to tertiary education in the country.
The establishment of Federal Polytechnic Aide has been declared by the President Muhammadu Buhari. However, the legal framework is of high importance.
The bill amending the 2021 Appropriation Act to enable extension of implementation of the capital components from 31st March to 31st May 2022 was considered and passed.
This operational extension period, so that some of the outstanding capital projects that are meant to benefit our people can be accomplished.
12 bills passed first reading, including the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Bill, forwarded from the Senate for concurrence. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
In another story, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says local government autonomy will promote grassroots development and curtail rural-urban migration. This was the minister's submission to participants of Senior Executive Course 44 of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies, Kurujas, who visited him as part of their study tour. Anthony Forsen reports.
Pointing out that local governments are central to national development, the third tier of government has failed due to lack of autonomy.
The various tier of governments are not willing to grant full autonomy to local government, despite Mr. President's personal initiative. Executive Order number 10 was actually meant to ensure that local governments get directly what they're entitled to. And when they do not, and I remember at the forum, asked that any local government that is shortchanged should make appropriate report.
The ambiguity in the powers conferred on the states by the 1999 Constitution to legislate on the structure of local governments remain another bottleneck. During an interactive session, the participants asked questions which bordered on legal framework for local governments, the role of the National Orientation Agency, as well as the way forward were responded to.
The Federal Executive Council, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, approved the new National Ethics and Integrity Policy, together developed by the ICPC and the National Orientation Agency. We are the co-drivers. The idea actually is also to take to the grassroots certain policies of government. If the anti-corruption campaign of the government, or the anti-corruption stance of the government, or the anti-corruption policy of the government is to be taken to the grassroots so that it becomes people-owned and people-driven.
We try to draw the attention of the importance of our dresses, our language, our dances, our arts forms and other things. They grow up with English and they don't even understand the nuances and the nitty-gritty of your mother tongue. And mark you, local languages are people of cultural values.
The participants of Course 44 2002 NIPS has a study and research topic on strengthening local governance in Nigeria, challenges, options, and opportunities. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
To a bit on politics now, Concerned All Progressives Congress Members Forum, a political support group, says what Nigeria needs now is constructive criticism and not comments capable of heating up the polity. The group, at a media briefing in Abuja, shared experience on some of the activities by the current administration as they are positively impacting lives. Salihu Gwanara reports.
Witnessed about 3 recessions under his time, and he was able to leverage and salvage the country's economy.
It is the turn of Concerned All Progressives Members Forum to add its voice to the debate on the performances of the current administration in the area of socio-economic development. This briefing is the group's response to the position by the PDP Governors Forum's communique at the end of its recent meeting in Umuahia, Abia State, and the reaction to the communique by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu.
We call on President Muhammadu Buhari not to be distracted by the falsehood of some governors who could not pay salaries of their workers and pension of retirees. The CBN governor should concentrate on his monetary policy to stabilize the economy. We are convinced that Mr. Emefiele and indeed the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration will leave the CBN and Nigeria economy better than it met it.
Meanwhile, the Forum of Buhari support groups has acknowledged the internal peace-building efforts of the APC as showcased during its 5th National Convention.
Our duty is to charge the new officials to move quickly into field to ensure inclusiveness, reward system which are pressures towards unity.
The forum pledges to remain steadfast in galvanizing support for the policies and programs of governments at all levels. In Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
10 months from now, Nigerians will go to the polling booths to choose their leaders, that is, the 2023 general elections. But crucial aspect of this exercise is the protection of lives and property. So the Department of State Services is engaging civil society organizations on the need to establish a synergy towards addressing likely security challenges in perceived flashpoints. And Francis Fong reports.
The Department of State Services and some civil society organizations might have had a frosty relationship in the past, but this engagement is to amend some cracks in a sustained manner and to enable both parties work collectively in fighting insecurity.
Whether we are serving internal purposes or external, we must at all times remember that Nigeria is our country. If there is crisis or violence in Nigeria, there won't be a place of refuge for us. And it is for this reason we are mobilizing efforts in building strong platforms and synergies that can work.
It is therefore imperative that as partners in progress, we collectively foster a capable and responsible civil society that supports and helps to strengthen security sector policies and activities.
The Director General of the DSS says all hands must be on deck to ensure that the forthcoming elections are free and fair, devoid of rancor and anarchy.
Resist being used by domestic and foreign subversive groups, as well as other anti-democratic forces wanting to dismember the country for selfish economic and political reasons. Since we have no other countries than Nigeria, we must cooperate and solve its problems together for the good of the people.
Stakeholders at the engagement applauded the DSS and assures of their commitment in the unity and progress of Nigeria.
We are very passionate about this country and we want to see this country rise again. And want to do so with agencies of government that are interested and working to do this.
We cannot afford to contribute to the breaking down of this country. So we have a moral burden and responsibility towards this nation.
This is the first engagement between the DSS, CSOs and the NGOs towards building a greater nation. Francis from NTA News.
Thank you, Francis. Now, up ahead on News Extra, there is a handful around transportation. From the cheery news around the second Niger Bridge, the interesting piece that captures the hustle and bustle under the bridge that has become a way of life for some people. And of course, something unreal that should interest residents of the Federal Capital Territory. Stay with us for this and more right after this time out.
You won't go shake your body. Instead, they make it calm down. If the farm say you sabi, you want to grow 6 packs in a day. I beg you not to pass your power. You want to show yourself.
Whatever your size, find it with the new Airtel data plans. Dial *141# now to get the plan that suits you. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Zenith Better Life promo is back, and it's bigger and better. You could be one of 20 lucky customers to win 150,000 Naira every 2 weeks from now till January 31st, 2023. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account and maintain a minimum balance of 5,000 Naira. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
For those wondering why, Schweppes now comes in a new ginger flavor. Experience tells us. The boldest flavors have the most character. Introducing new Schweppes Ginger, a new flavor made with over 200 years of experience.
The Honorable Minister of Transportation, Right Honorable Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, and the Honorable Minister of State for Transportation, Senator Gbemisola Rukayat Saraki, are inviting stakeholders in the transportation sector and the general public to the 2021 Ministerial Press Briefing, scheduled to hold as follows. Date, Thursday, 7th April 2022. Venue, National Press Center, Radio House, Garki, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Dr. Magdalena Jani, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Transportation. Announcer.
For training camps to take off properly, logistics such as accommodation and feeding have to be properly arranged. This camp in Niger State is settling in for an end software training series. Niger State has 14,798 Empower beneficiaries.
We are not expecting as they will accommodate us in this kind of place. I'm very happy to be part of this training.
I like the process, the orderliness from this step to this step. You just have to know that yes, everything is being done orderly. So now we know that okay, we are collecting some materials now to go and add to our room. Tomorrow now we are coming for the next phase, which is the registration or the documentation. So gradually we know that it's step by step.
Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, and Voice of Nigeria, VON, cordially invite general public to the 16th Annual Ramadan Lecture. Topic: Social Media, Effect on Morality. Guest speakers, Professor Ishak Olariwaju Oloyede, Registrar, Joint Admission Matriculation Board, and Professor Ismail Shehu, Department of Political Science, ABU Zaria, under the chairmanship of Architect Muhammad Namadi Sambu, GCON, former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Special guest of honor, Right Honorable Oladimeji Bankole, former Speaker, House of Representatives. Royal Father of the Day, His Highness Ambassador Ahmed Nuh Bamali, Emir of Zazzau. Chief Host, His Excellency Malan Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State. Hosts, Malan Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, Director General NTA, Dr. Mansur Liman, Director General FRCN, and Osita Okechukwu, Director General Voice of Nigeria. Date, Saturday, 9th April 2022. Venue, Lumana Multipurpose Center, River Close, off Jabi Road East, Kaduna. Time, 9 a.m. Inshallah. Announcer, Organizing Committee.
Thanks for staying. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, has urged stakeholders in the National Homegrown School Feeding Program not to sabotage the efforts of the federal government geared towards improving the lives and academic well-being of school children. The minister, who handed over 397 packs of feeding utensils to the Abia State government in Umuahia, enjoined the stakeholders to use the materials judiciously. Kingsley Onuniu reports.
They give me food in school, so you make me to be happy.
Thank you them for what they have done. May God continue to bless them.
This food they are giving me, they make me learn very well in my classroom.
I'm happy that the government is giving me food in this school every day.
Those were some of the benefiting school children in Abia State who could not hide their joy over the National Homegrown School Feeding Program. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, represented by the Deputy Director, Humanitarian Affairs in the Ministry, Charles Anelo, noted that the school feeding program is one of the federal government's intervention initiatives under its social investment program, which has played a pivotal role in the fight against hunger, malnutrition, and unemployment in the country. She therefore enjoined the operators of the program to live above board in order to enable government to realize its aims and objectives.
Our advice has always been that all those who are in the chain of implementing this program should know that we are dealing with the future of this country.
One of the key objectives of this program is to keep children out of street. In Abia State, we've been able to keep many of the children out of street, and they are now back to school.
It is one of the best things that has happened to the school system and to the children, to the nation at large, because this has touched their life at the rural level.
In some families, some of them don't come to school with food, but with this program, they can feed very well.
I stand to thank the President, His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari, for initiating this program.
In Umuahia, Kingsley Onanibu, NTA News.
The fire that gutted shops under the Akwambom Bridge in Lagos about 2 weeks ago raised concerns over safety of lives and public structures. In this report, Hingino John Adams looks at businesses and life on the bridges.
From Ekpe to Badagry,
Ikorodu to Lagos Island, various designs of bridges are visible. So, you will not be wrong if you call Lagos a city of bridges. Though such bridges and flyover are constructed for easy connectivity, they add to the aesthetics of the state.
I'm standing near Jibo Bridge. You can see creativity translated into what attracts many eyeballs. Isn't it beautiful?
But it is sad that most of the spaces under bridges in Lagos meant to be beautified are occupied by traders or destitute who sometimes erect temporary structures as shops or shelter. Common sites under most Lagos bridges include food sellers, locally called Mama Put, various items displayed for sale, mini car parks with buses and taxis loading passengers. The list continues.
There is no money for us to take shop, and there is nobody to help us.
As we there for main road like this, the same market. Not be say as we there for road here, everybody will like up.
This can cause grave consequences, like the recent fire outbreak at Akpongbo, which left many counting their losses. To avoid future occurrences, Lagos State government says all illegal occupants must vacate such spaces.
We can sit with the local government chairman, we can sit with the CBD office, and we can look at places where we can, relocate them to.
Even as Lagos State Governor maintains a no-going-back stand, those affected are hoping that the decision will be reversed.
Now, we don't have any other place to go. Let them just consider us.
The 7 days ultimatum given to occupants of under bridges in Lagos to vacate has elapsed. It is expected that in the coming days, such spaces will begin to wear new look. In Lagos, Hingino, John Adams, NTA News.
And from Lagos, let's head to Onitsha, where the 11.9 kilometers total project length of the second Niger Bridge has gained 84% completion. Uchin Koyo visited the project for an update.
The 1.6 kilometers second Niger Bridge project has a total of 10.3 kilometers access road and 3 secondary bridges. The 3 secondary bridges, one at Okon Amakom in Delta State and 2 at the Anambra axis, have been completed. At the Owerri Road Interchange Bridge, 2 lanes Owerri-Opiweka bound have been opened for traffic. The access roads have reached advanced stages, even as the last 5 meters gap of the main bridge was being closed at the time of this report. Onitsha residents are, however, grateful to President Muhammadu Buhari, who they described as a man of action.
I want to appreciate Mr. President Muhammad Buhari. The second Niger Bridge is a very strategic access road network.
Federal Controller of Works in charge of the project, Adeyemo Ajani, said with the progress made so far and the pace at which the project is being executed, the September 2022 delivery date is visible. In Onitsha, Uche Nawekoyo, NTA News.
Now, have you ever wondered why the Nyanyama-Masaka Highway has become one of the busiest highways in recent years? What about the daily experiences of those who live in that axis and work in the city of Abuja? Well, Abdullahi Mohammed went along the highway and here is his experience.
In his words for the day's trading, welcome to Nyanya. The motor parks and the loudspeakers from the miracle traditional medicine sellers, a bun compared only to that of the vulture and the slaughterhouse. Nyanya, Maraba up to Masaka is arguably the most busiest outlet from the city of Abuja. Some of its characteristics makes it unique, but a very difficult road to navigate. Behind us, the 3 pillars, signaling the end of the FCT and sliding into Nasarawa State. Each side of the highway, businesses from small to medium, but their best spots, the right of way. The business plazas abound with patronage a beehive, a combo of beggars and petty traders taking over the pedestrian bridge.
There's no parking space, no bus stop.
Without designated bus stops, transiting the axis is chaotic. And when a heavy-duty truck collapses on the road, the day will be a hectic one for many.
The traffic jam we started from Masaka. People supposed to resume around 8. We got to the office by 12, which is very bad.
Motorcycles, the quickest means of reaching the inner parts of the towns. The job of the riders a tiring one, and by the time nature calls for a nap, the roof of an abandoned filling station is enough, and the bikes become the beds. With high volume of people comes different characters, and among the daring ones, pickpockets and bag snatchers.
Even today, I saw a man and a woman were dragging. The woman was walking into the market, and there's a guy that already sensed that there is a money inside the bag. So what the guy did, at a moment he was crossing, he dragged the bag and moved.
Some characters litter the environment, and one of the collection banked to the brink, threatening the Ado Bridge. But for those who call under the bridge home, life goes on. Turning back from Ado, a set of characters trying to replicate what the authorities are fighting against in Tafa, indiscriminate parking of trucks on the highway. Before I say jag, we were caught up in traffic jam. The sun scorching, and for those without a functional air conditioner in their cars, sorry. I stepped aside to ask a colleague who lives within that axis how she manages her way to and from work.
When you're leaving home in the morning by 7 or 7:30 or 6:30, you know you're spending about 5 hours on this road.
Slowly we continued in gridlock. By the roadside, some beautiful piece of arts. These gave me some sort of joy. This is just a page of the many characters in the book of the Nyanya Maraba Massacre Highway. It's a mix of sweet, sour and bitter. But most importantly, it's a reflection of the resilience and enterprise in each citizen of this country. In Abuja, Abdullahi Muhammad, NTA News.
Well, thank you so much, Abdullahi, for that wonderful report. It's a beautiful experience, I must say. Now, more communities in Nasarawa State are benefiting from the World Bank-funded project, NewMap, aimed at addressing environmental challenges in the state. This is coming as 3 road projects executed by NewMap are inaugurated in Lafia. Aliu Tijani reports.
Communities of Angwanungu, Angwaliman and rice mills, all in Lafia, are now wearing new look as their once deplorable road are now motorable, courtesy of NewMap. The people are happy and turn out en masse to celebrate.
What has been as a bottleneck has been removed, despite the fact that the construction of this drainage and culvert has really increased our life.
Governor Abdullahi Sule commends NewMap for the intervention. He assures communities in the state of government's commitment to address critical infrastructure to boost socio-economic activities in their areas.
I want to thank you sincerely, really, for devoting the time, and all the team from the World Bank and the contractors. I'm sorry that I have bothered you enough, but now you can see everybody is happy with us. So that is the whole idea. For me, it's just to see those smiles on the faces of these people.
This is one of the things that the project is set to do, which is to connect communities, connect people to marketplaces, and provide access road.
Earlier, the NewMap delegation pays courtesy visit on the governor, where he assures them of sustained partnership for the development of the state. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Story, the Federal Road Safety Corps says it has recorded a significant reduction in road carnage across the nation in recent years as a result of the capacity building of its officers. Corps Marshal Boboe Oyemi observed this during the 2021 Road Marshal Assistant Drivers Basic Course Passing Out Parade ceremony at Owalero, Delta State. Tessie Coker has that.
These road marshals have been adequately trained to carry out their responsibility of preventing incessant accidents on the highway. The colorful display here is that of the Corps Parade. The Inspectorate Training School has produced 600 professional drivers that will be deployed to parts of the country to assist members of the public in embarking on safe and stress-free journeys. The Corps Marshal is pleased with Governor Okowa for providing the facility, which has helped in no small measure in ensuring the safety of Nigerians on the highways.
Part of our program also is to assist members of the public who may want to embark on a journey and they need professional drivers. These people are professional drivers now with regimental training given to them. So we assist the public, and that means we have the ratio at least of 2 drivers attached to each vehicle now. And for the articulated vehicles, there will be 3. So we have enough now, and I'll be able to perform our roles the way it's supposed to be done in the most professional way.
For Governor Okowa, matters relating to road safety in Nigeria should be treated as a matter of national emergency.
This is a thing of joy for me that in less than a year after, we are already reaping the fruits of this investment by the state government in partnership with the Federal Road Safety Code. The ceremony was capped with presentation of awards to deserving trainees.
With this exercise over, it is hoped that Nigerians are in for a re-energized road core operation to the benefit of all. In Owalero, Ikano East Local Government Area of Delta State, Tessie Koka, NTA News.
Thank you, Tess. If you're one of those that is not yet convinced about how far Nigeria has become a reference point when it comes to agri-biotech, then make sure you don't miss out on how Ghana is looking up to her in that area, just as our security agents give bandits and drug traffickers a run for their money. Watch out for these and more on the next segment of News Extra as we take another breather. Join us again.
Hey guys, making music for you is so easy for me to do. But you know what else is super easy to do? Linking your NIN to your Glow line by dialing *109*NIN hash. Or I can call 109 from my Glow line and follow the instructions. And if I don't want to call, I can text my NIN to 109. I can even visit glowworld.com/NIN. And what if you've forgotten your NIN? All you have to do is dial *346# and Glow will help you remember it. Someone may ask, what if I haven't registered? All you have to do is go into the nearest Glow World and we'll help you register. It's that easy. So don't get disconnected from all of the amazing voice and data offers from Glow. Linking your NIN to your Glow lines is simple, safe, and 100% free with zero hassles.
The government and people of Ebonyi State heartily welcome the Vice President of Nigeria, His Excellency Professor Yemi Oshibajo, SAN, GCON, on this auspicious occasion of the flag-off of the 21st edition of the Joint Planning Board and National Council on Development Planning and commissioning of some of the life-transforming projects of the administration of the Governor of Ebonyi State, His Excellency Engineer David Nweze Umahi, holding on the 8th of April 2022. We welcome the Honorable Minister of Finance, Mrs. Zainab A. Ahmed, the Honorable Minister of State, Budget and National Planning, Prince Clem Agbe, and the Federal Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Budget and National Planning, Mrs. Olushola O. Ido, as well as the 36 Commissioners of Budget, Planning and Finance and their Permanent Secretaries, holding at Africa's biggest state exco chambers, New Government House, Ochudo Centenary City, Abakaliki. Welcome to Ebonyi State, where accountability is our watchword. Signed, Publicity Subcommittee.
We don't carry our Pikin go hospital.
I don't see why we carry Pikin go hospital because of ordinary fever now.
Ordinary fever? Pikin wey im body dey hot like that.
Now cloth now soak inside water, take rub her body. She don't dey play even as I come out.
If na malaria na im dey worry that pikin, by now you no know say the thing for don worse pass.
Yeah! Waiting. No be my generator dey be that one.
Abeg make I quick call mechanic. Carry cloth and water.
Yes. For generator?
You use cloth and water clean our pikin body. Go use that same pattern for the generator. Make we see as e go work.
Sense, mama. I receive sense. So, see, I go do am correct now. Make you carry this phone and help me call the engineer. Make I carry our pikin sharp the hospital.
Receive sense, do am correct.
If fever catch you and you no go treat am sharp sharp, if it's serious pass as e dey o, especially for pikin dem wey never reach 5 years.
Do test. If na malaria, finish your medicine. If no be malaria nko, your health worker go tell you wetin to do.
Na Federal Ministry of Health and American people dem bring una this message.
Introducing an all-time mega offer. Get over 50% discount in the Airtel Home Broadband mega offer. Buy a router for just 10,000 naira and get up to 240 gigabyte or a MiFi for 5,000 naira and get up to 125 gigabyte bonus data. More data, more you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Whoa, how hot is she?
Very hot. Pick me, just pick me, baby. Come pick me, girl. Man, I'm all ready for you.
So tasty.
He's so lucky.
Mini-Me, taste the fun.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious disease. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. Illness-causing germs are everywhere. In unclean bathing water, on your clothes, dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capful. In your bathing water, for your laundry, for surface cleaning, for first aid, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets. With Panadol's Optizol formula, the tablet absorbs quickly and starts providing fast and effective pain relief you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets.
When times are tough, we know that as a mother, one thing you should never compromise on is your family's oral health, because they deserve the best. Oral-B, all-round protection. Its great value, it protects your mouth from harmful bacteria and also protects you against tooth holes and gum problems which can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your family's teeth and gives them all-round protection. So remember, protect their future. Oral-B for healthier, stronger teeth in just 1 week.
Welcome back. World-class leading financial institution and best commercial bank in Nigeria, Zenith Bank, has declared a 3 naira 10 kobo dividend per unit share for shareholders, as the bank recorded a significant growth in its profit after tax, which rose by 6.07%, put at 245 billion naira in the year 2021 on the review. This was disclosed during the 31st annual general meeting of the bank held in Lagos, and Amaka O has that.
The annual general meeting of Zenith Bank PLC, which was physical and via online platform, had executive members of the board, regulators and shareholders in attendance. Zenith Bank Group is customer-centric and has recorded accelerated growth. The leadership of the bank say further progress are evident in total assets of the bank as at 2021, put at 9.45 trillion naira, an 11.40% increase from the previous year, while profit after tax rose by 6.7% from 230.5 billion naira in 2020 to 245.56 billion naira in 2021.
10,182,604 naira out of the profit after tax for the 12 months ended 31st December 2021 be and is hereby declared payable.
We are deploying our digital capability to grow more business, to simplify our service process, make our process more efficient, deal with customers' complaints, and also, apart from developing new products, discover new business verticals.
The bank further draws attention to the need for digital literacy against cyber crimes. With digital voting, the bank approved a total dividend and immediate payment of 3 naira 10 kobo per unit share to shareholders.
I got an alert payment of the dividend,
This is very commendable.
In the 31 years of the annual JAM, they have not failed to pay dividend for once.
With over 18 million customer base and over 400 branches within and outside the country, Zenith Bank's continuous investment in technology infrastructure supports the growth of customers' transactions annually. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
International Energy Agency to release 120 million barrels of oil to ease prices as investors in the capital market lose a 6.04 billion naira. Let's now join Musa Abubakar for details on business news. Musa, good to see you. It's over to you.
Thank you, Fatima. Well, the challenge of access to finance for MSMEs in Nigeria has increased the search for solutions, particularly looking at innovative sources of finance for MSMEs. Records show at the end of 2020, only less than 1% of total bank loans were disbursed to MSMEs in Nigeria. To this end, the nation's apex bank, insurance regulators, credit bureaus, collateral registry, and other stakeholders in the financial services sector are working to change the narrative by unlocking a potential $2 billion per annum in financing to MSMEs through factoring.
And SMEs are able to have access to working capital. Okay, they're able to have access to short-term liquidity. You know, they're able to have access to cash to use for businesses. What that means is that it's more business for them. What that means for Nigeria is that more production. What that means for Nigeria is that growth comes to the Nigerian economy.
Now to energy, the International Energy Agency, IEA, will release 120 million barrels of oil to ease prices, half of which will come from the United States, while other IEA members will provide the rest, a Bloomberg report said on Twitter. The U.S. contribution will be a part of the 180 million barrels that President Joe Biden has already announced, the reporter said, citing unidentified sources. And stocks declined marginally at the Nigerian exchange Wednesday, just a day after it recorded slight gains. At the close of trades, the all-share index stood at 46,766.16 points. Market capitalization also declined marginally to 25.212 trillion naira. 261.5 million shares were traded in 4,668 deals, valued at 2.434 billion naira. Fidelity Bank, Transcorp, and Guarantee Holding Company were the most sought-after stocks. That's business news. Fatima, it's back to you.
Well, thank you so much, Abubakar, for the business package. Now let's head to Yenagoa, where good governance, accountability, effective leadership, and economic development of the country are predicated on efficient accounting reporting by the professionals. While State Governor Senator Doyi Diri started this at the second session of the 2022 mandatory continuing professional development program of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, holding in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State. Imo Etimodo reports.
The theme, Dynamics of Corporate Reporting and Governance, the second session of 2022 Mandatory Continuing Professional Development Program by the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, is aimed at making professional accountants to be at par with industrial revolution, armed with intellectual development to satisfy their employers and add value to society. Against this background, Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State, represented by his deputy, Senator Lawrence Erujakpo, noted that it is timely and fits with contemporary challenges as the program is germane to good governance, as it will birth standard financial reporting in Nigeria.
Countries, nations, society, even families have made decisions that are very collateral as a result of wrong reporting.
The president and chairman of Council of ANAN, Reverend Canon Professor Benjamin Osisioma, and other stakeholders of ANAN are upbeat that the event will deepen practice beneficial to the people through proper financial reporting.
When that report is done well, it guides performance.
We want to bring them to the fourth industrial revolution.
so that they should perform and satisfy their employers.
As an accountant, that will help me and guide me on how to go about my job in the office.
To also help us in boosting our career.
There were presentation of papers and sensitization of participants on Annan University. In Yenegua, Imo Etimudo, NTA News.
Nigeria is sustainably improving the capacity of its tax net to fully activate dormant tax windows for increased revenue generation. This is the position of key players in the nation's tax administration and management system.
Nigeria's tax profile risen to trillions of naira, with the oil-related taxes contributing to 22%, while the non-oil taxes accounted for 3.3 trillion naira within the 2021 fiscal year. The outlook for 2022 seems promising, with various tax reforms and policies, including the Finance Act 2021, with the aim of putting the country on recovery paths.
To ensure that they digitalize tax administration in Nigeria, information sharing among revenue generating agencies in order to optimize revenue for the Federation.
Company that is registered in Nigeria is actually expected to file returns. So we're not saying they should not file. We only encourage them to come into the tax net, enjoy the benefit while they are still small.
Stakeholders say macroeconomic transformations such as company income tax, personal income tax, and value-added tax, amongst others, are yielding desired results, but requires more commitment.
FRS is the only entity at the federation level that is authorized to collect stamp duty from transactions between corporations, or between corporations and individuals, or between a group of individuals like partnerships.
It is the duty of government to ensure that these informal taxes are converted to formal taxes, and that when people pay, they get the benefit for paying taxes.
You go to audit a taxpayer and you see 2-3 different sets of accounts for the same taxpayer for the same period. And then you begin to say which of this is correct.
As the nation works towards shifting attention from the oil sector, these key players are optimistic that a robust tax performance will trigger speedy economic growth and development. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Everyone has experienced cybercrime. For those who have, it leaves a lingering bitter memory. But the agency saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that it doesn't happen, that is the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau, has launched its logo, website and core values in a quest to position itself for better service delivery. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Alipantami, was there to remind the Bureau of its core mandates as the data protection watchdog. Chumdama Indibisi reports.
The world is now a global village, thanks to information technology. In this advancement, data is at the center of the digital economy journey. Data connectivity is what gives individuals access to the volume of financial transactions, e-learning, and social interactions going on in the cyberspace. But as the internet space gets busier, the issue of user vulnerability to cyber criminals also rises. Although there has been a set of rules regulating data usage, the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy saw the need to institute a monitoring body that will ensure data privacy, security, and confidentiality as obtainable in some ICT sophisticated countries. That agency, the Nigeria Data Protection Bureau, has launched its logo, website, and core values.
What we are doing today is to really give a brand, to give an identity to the Bureau, and to tell the whole world our charge, our mandate, what the President, through our Minister, what they've directed us to do. This will go a long way in building trust between government on one hand and citizens on the other. And all these institutions, they have no power to get access to your data under their custody. Many places, the law clearly states that there must be, your consent must be obtained.
We are National Identity Management Commission will continue to uphold the regulations and guidelines that ensure the integrity and sanctity of citizens and legal residents' data are secured and protected.
I want to also call on the new commissioner to ensure that we carry the private sector along, but certainly we should not bend to the demand to redefine what personal data is.
The launched institution's identity borders on commitment to uphold the cyber users' trust in protecting their data transactions. In another development, critical actors in IT are working on draft patterns to be adopted by ministries, departments, and agencies to sustain implementation of public IT projects. A workshop was organized by the National Information Development Agency on drafting of state-level agreements to ensure that digital technology assets and investments are protected. The guidelines for the draft apply to all IT contracts in federal institutions. In Abuja, Chimdema DBC, NTA News.
Thank you, Chimdema. The question of which country produces the best jollof rice remains a bone of contention between Nigeria and Ghana. Nigeria and Ghana again, well, thankfully, this is not a World Cup qualifier. Nevertheless, Ghanaians have agreed that Nigeria is ahead of Ghana when it comes to seeds production and adoption of modern biotech in agriculture. Scientists from that West African country are in Nigeria to learn the use of technology to develop Ghana's agriculture. Musa Aliu tells us all about it.
Nigeria is gradually moving away from the use of old know-how in crop production to a modern technology, and biotechnology is being given priority with a view to improving yield and addressing challenges associated with weather, diseases and insect infestation. This therefore informed the development of improved variety of beans, maize and cotton through the use of biotechnology.
A lot of farmers have given their testimonies in terms of wealth creation, in terms of yield, in terms of eradicating this pot borer that is disturbing it.
After commercialization,
it is because of these success stories that scientists from Ghana are in Nigeria to broaden their scope in modern farming technology. And here in this hall are scientists from the National Biotechnology Development Agency telling the success story of Nigeria's journey and the regulatory framework in the use of new modern farming techniques.
Ghana is also a giant in biotechnology in the sense that they have a regulatory system that is functional and working.
The visiting scientists applauded Nigerian scientists and requested for more support from Nigeria. Musa Aliu, NTA News.
From Agric, let's talk security. Now, security agencies in Kaduna have repelled 2 different attacks on some communities. Affected communities are in Chukun and Igabi local government areas. Haruna Mohammed reports.
2 communities attacked by bandits are Barakallahu settlement in Igabi local government, which is outskirts of Kaduna metropolis, and Buruku village in Chukun local government. Security personnel mobilized to the scene of the attack and engaged the bandits, forcing them to retreat. Residents of Barakallahu who are traumatized described the situation as alarming.
Thought it was a joke, but what we heard was very frightening.
We had the intelligence that some strangers would be passing through this area. Unknown to us, they were bandits.
They commended the swift response of combined security agencies in securing the area.
We are appealing for government to add more security in this area because residents of Barakallahu and surrounding communities are living in fear.
Some suspects in connection with Barakallahu attack have been arrested and sophisticated weapons were discovered in their possession. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
In the meantime, Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya has directed troops of Operation Hadinkai to reach all terrorist enclaves, defeat the enemy and recover all their equipment. General Yahaya gave the directive while addressing troops of 402 Special Forces Brigade of the Nigerian Army in Kondogol government area of Borno State. Memuna Garba reports.
As part of the Chief of Army Staff's operational visit to Northeast Theatre of Operation, General Farouk Yahaya addressed troops on frontline and reminded them on the need to stay alive to their responsibilities. He acknowledged their efforts recently in the theatre and urged them not to relent.
I think at the beginning, we will relent and we will even do more. And I'm sure and confident with what we have seen, we will get there by special grace of God.
Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya assured to provide all troops requirements to enable them successfully execute the war against terrorism. He commended air and maritime components of Operation Hadinkai, as well as other security agencies, including members of the civilian JTF, for their tremendous support to the counter-insurgency operations, stressing that with this synergy, no terrorist can defeat them. The Chief of Army Staff reiterated determination to restoring peace to all troubled areas across the country, stressing that no operational challenges will deter the Army from focusing on its tasks.
All our troops in the northeast, also in the northwest, in north central, and in other geopolitical zones, I urge us all not to relent, and we will indeed not relent until we defeat these evil forces.
While pledging unalloyed commitment to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Yahaya thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for his strategic guidance and support and confidence he has in the armed forces. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Sanungwe Ekaleo. I can go on and on and on talking about multilingualism. What impact does it have on national unity? Now let's find out together when we return from the next break we are about to take. Join us also as we take you to the world of a beast of burden that is facing the threat of extinction. All these right after we return.
How are you? I can smell the goodness of Easter around you. But wait a minute. Do you know you can enjoy Easter in luxurious comfort like never before? Because this Easter, Bedmates Furniture invites you to discover new levels of comfort with furniture that brings life to your home. Seriously, now is your last chance to have a memorable Easter and beyond. From 21st March to 20th April 2022, get furniture you love at unbelievable low prices with free gifts in our showrooms. Hurry now before others choose the finest units you want.
Are you aware that your perfect family may be under threat by germs? Germs can cause infectious disease. These infectious diseases are amongst the biggest killers of adults and children. Illness-causing germs are everywhere. In unclean bathing water, on your clothes, dirty surfaces, on cuts and wounds. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's 1 capful. In your bathing water, for your laundry, for surface cleaning, for first aid, and to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure.
Like a bird needs wings to fly, you need skills to be productive. No matter the level of your education, ITF can train you to acquire skills in areas like mechatronics, metal machining, facility technology, electronics and computer networking, information and communication technology, ICT, culinary art, and agriculture. Acquire a skill and transform yourself from being unemployed to becoming even an employer. Be a valuable Nigerian youth. Say no to unemployment and poverty.
I'll spread my wings and fly so high. I'll reach for the stars, yeah, it's time.
Industrial Training Fund, developing the nation's human resource.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message is from the National Orientation Agency. A new edition of TV Guide is out, exclusively with Professor Umar Garba Dambata, Executive Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC.
We have unveiled the 622 as a toll-free line through which consumers can be able to lodge their complaints. And we have introduced the 112 as the national emergency number.
This edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from technology, entertainment, economy, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up your copy and get abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Great to have you back on News Extra. If you are a follower of research, here is one conducted recently, confirming that Southern Kaduna has 66 ethnic nationalities, giving the area a unique standing as multilingual with potentials for intercultural communications for unity in diversity. What is more, stakeholders from the academia are praising this socio-linguistic phenomenon as a guarantee for sustainability and proper functioning of society among the people. Hamza Makarfi reports.
Southern Kaduna is of unique standing as multicultural, pluralistic society in Nigeria. If you are looking forward to do a case study, visit Kasam village of Jama'a local government area. It is a close-knit community with relatively small population, but here sharing the experience of inhabitants.
That is Boju. Sannan kuma nazo Tamada.
Showing mastery of many languages is outstanding.
And we live peacefully, lovingly, no problem.
Yeah, Jonah. They represent the nation's unending quest for unity in diversity, an organized medium of communication to forge ahead. Back in Kafanchan, a public lecture speaks to the issues.
Our languages are also related. If you go to Samana,
bordering on self-appraisal as fundamental to progress and prosperity, looking at historical, political, economic, and socio-cultural perspectives, among others. Enhancement of multilingualism with other solutions is key.
It is with diversity that we can actually become a colorful Nigeria, and I think that should be the dream of every Nigerian.
How do we do it? We have to come together. If we come together and sit on the round table just as how we have done, we'll be able to give ourselves assignments, we'll be able to give ourselves tasks, and we can use different strategy, understanding, and then achieve a common goal.
We'll now rebuild trust. And when we build trust, now unity comes in, and then we can be on the same page again.
As with previous experiences, stakeholders say walking the talk is fundamental to achieving progress. Hamza Makarfi, NTA News.
Now, Nigeria, my fatherland, Nigeria, good people, great nation. Now, if the tempo at which the population of the donkey, also known as beast of burden, continues to be decimated by human factors, one might not be wrong to say that the animal will in no distant future go the way of the vulture that has completely gone extinct in most parts of Nigeria, if not all parts. Osman Abdullahi Shehu has a special report from Brenin Kebbi.
One of those who came in connection with this, he did tell me that about 1,000 donkeys were slaughtered to be able to have this quantity of meat.
If that shocking revelation by the controller Nigerian Customs Service, Kebbi Area Command, is anything to go by, Nuhu Aminu and Bello Ajasu, whose means of livelihood for years is reliant heavily on donkeys, have every reason to become apprehensive owing to the imminent extinction of such special animals unless urgent measures are taken to revert the trend. Research has shown that donkey has been in use by humans, especially in this part of Nigeria, as a beast of burden for thousands of years. Fortunately, donkeys in the last decade or more have become a target of systematic annihilation by what appears to be an international syndicate with their local collaborators, as witnessed recently in Burning Kebbi, when a trailer loaded with stock of roasted donkey meat worth millions of naira heading for southeastern Nigeria was intercepted by the operatives of the Nigerian Customs Service. As the situation is right now, nobody is in any doubt that donkeys are facing extinction owing to human factors.
This is illegal, this is wrong, this contravenes section 63B of the Customs and Excise Management Act 45, Law Federation of Nigeria 2004, and it contravenes the convention which Nigeria as a nation has signed.
Donkey may be a delicacy in some parts of Nigeria, but in the northern part, it is a means of earning livelihood as confirmed by Nuhu and Bello of Badare area in Burning Kebbi.
We are benefiting a lot. It is what I do for a living. Donkey has done everything for me. I bought a plot of land, built a house, and now I'm about to get married with money earned from the donkey business.
When asked if they were alarmed by the rapid decrease in the population of donkeys as being witnessed nowadays, the expression on the faces of Nuhu and Bello tells a lot.
Sometimes we see even non-Nigerians in the market buying donkeys in numbers. Because of that, donkey price rises at an unaffordable rate. We used to buy an adult donkey at the rate of 20,000, 18,000 and 17,000 naira.
As we speak right now, a donkey somewhere in the northern part of Nigeria is either about to be trafficked to the south to serve as a delicacy or being slaughtered to prepare its meat or skin for export, a development Nigerian government is determined to checkmate. Usman Abdullahi Shehu, NTA News.
30 Nigerian producers, directors, screenwriters, and ace actors from the Nigerian movie industry had the opportunity to share insights with their UK counterparts on how to explore co-productions and expand their footprints in both countries. This was during a trade mission in Lagos to engage participants on how to explore opportunities available to them. UK's trade envoy to Nigeria, Helen Grant, said this is a sequel to the responses received by the trade mission during a series of creative sectors webinars that was held or led by DIT Nigeria in 2021. The UK envoy before the trade mission in Lagos also met with the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, as well as the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, to discuss on how to address obstacles in the course of doing business in Nigeria. Let's take our last break for the night and then bring you trending news in the world of sports. See you in just a moment.
That in the last decade, this country has been at different wars trying to keep the peace and promote the sovereignty and the integrity of the country. The troops are doing their best. The president has given them all the necessary tools. It is left for us as young people and as Nigerians to give them all the support we can. We say kudos to all our gallant military men. Please, whenever you see a police officer in or out of uniform, if you know them, clap for them whenever they need be. Give them seats in buses and trains and airplanes. Have the airline managers reduce air tickets for them or train tickets for them. Show them that we appreciate what they do and show their families that there is something right and honorable and truly remarkable about wearing a uniform and going into the bushes and the forest to fight enemies of this country that are hell-bent in bringing your life to an end. It's a very tough time, but we have to all put our hands together. Please support our troops and support our police officers.
Let's talk sports. It's already 1 week after fans went on rampage after Nigeria-Ghana 2022 Qatar World Cup playoff at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja. In this report, Cynthia Ogun revisits the facility for an update.
April April 5, 2022 was exactly 1 week since Nigeria's Super Eagles hosted the Black Stars of Ghana in the second leg of the Qatar 2022 FIFA World Cup playoffs at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on March 29, 2022. Recall that after the match, which ended 1-1, emotions took the better side of some Super Eagles fans who took to the pitch in a show of anger after it dawned on them that the visitors had benefited from the away goal rule.
When you look at how long it took to bring this back, when you look at the amount that was spent initially before Koja, and then it was brought back in its glory for the purpose and for the use of Nigerians. Over 64,000 Nigerians were here on Tuesday. Imagine if this place was not fixed by the federal government and the Dangote Group. We will not have a place like this to host.
The facility is wearing a new look following concerted cleanup exercises, even as the 9-man committee set up by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to investigate the post-March violence at the main bowl has since hit the ground running.
A fortune was actually spent to put the stadium in place, and it is quite unfortunate. The first major match that is being held there, then vandalism took place. It's quite unfortunate and highly condemnable.
I think the federal government, through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, have done their best to put committee together to look into this and, of course, do the needful before Nigeria is playing against Egypt.
Built in 2003, the Moshood Abiola National Stadium remains one of the best in Africa, with its packages A and B boasting of facilities suitable for all sporting activities. Cynthia Ogun, NTA News.
Well, a report just reaching out says, I'm sorry about that because I'm reading this from my phone. Former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan has expressed deep sadness over the unfortunate tragic death of 2 police officers attached to him in a road crash today at the vicinity of the Abuja airport while on his way out of the airport. The former president, who described the incident as painful and heart-rending, said that the sudden death of the 2 security details has thrown him into deep mourning. Dr. Jonathan noted with sadness that the deceased inspectors Ibrahim Abazi and Yakubu Toma were fine officers who were dedicated to their duties and service to the nation. 2 other officers sustained injuries in the accident, which involved a car conveying the security men. They were rushed to the hospital in Abuja, where they are responding to treatment. And on that sad note, we conclude News Extra for tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. But before we go, don't forget to join NTA in the battle against rape and rapists. I am Fatima Morbuba. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talking Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
No! Stop it! Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
Arise, oh compatriots. It's time to use our voice.
Beyond 6 packs. Bills. Welcome to Gallery.
Me and my paddies.
London for what? London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness. Welcome to Gist Zone.
Alright, my name is the Eselusien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Nigeria is a country that is richly blessed in human and natural resources. Sadly, for some time, our economy has been rather on a shaky note. But of course, we have some eggheads who are trying their best to ensure that the Nigerian economy remains stable. Today, I am here live and direct in Arochukwu local government area of Abia State, Southeast Nigeria, to meet a guest as I welcome you to another beautiful time on Executive Discuss. My name is Ololade Adeniji Adele. I'm sure you're wondering what has brought me all the way to the Southeast. Well, let's find out who my guest is today on the show. Hello, sir. How are you? Good to see you.
Very well, and you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're
Good
welcome.
to see you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Once again, viewers, we welcome you to Executive Discuss, coming to you on the network service of the NTA. To an extent, I'm sure that your curiosity has been partly satisfied. But, to shed more light on this, my guest today on the program is a banker, he's an economist, he's a man who has his hands in a lot of pies. He is a philanthropist, and, he is a man that has touched lives at various levels. We are here in his home in Arochukwu in Abia State, Southeast Nigeria, and he is the Ugo Abia. Please join me as we welcome to the show today Dr. Alex Oti OFR. Hello, sir. How are you once again?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you too.
You're welcome.
Hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
Now, for the purpose of setting the tone for this interview, it is important that our viewers get to meet you, get to know you, and understand who you are. Tell us about yourself, where you were born, what schools you attended, and how your early years were.
Okay, thank you very much. Like you rightly introduced me, my name is Alex Oti. I was born in Abia State here, in Aba to be precise, more than 5 decades ago.
Yes.
And I started primary and secondary school also in Abia. My secondary school was at Ungwa High School in Aba. I proceeded to the University of Port Harcourt, where I read economics. Graduated in 1988. I proceeded for youth service in Lagos. After the 1-year mandatory service in Citibank, Nigeria, I was retained, and I started my banking career in 1989. Somewhere in between, I had to do an MBA, an executive MBA at University of Lagos, combining it with my work. And from Citibank, I went to the then Intercontinental Merchant Bank, which became Intercontinental Bank, and which subsequently was acquired by Access Bank. And from Intercontinental, I went to a small bank as the treasurer then, Société Bancaire. It was a French bank. The bank is no more due to consolidation. It was, I think it merged with some other banks.
Okay.
And then from there I went to UBA. I worked in UBA for quite some time, rising to the position of Assistant General Manager. And then I was headhunted by First Bank. I spent about 10 years in First Bank, rising from the position of Assistant General Manager to Deputy General Manager and Executive Director. And by 2011, I joined Diamond Bank as the Managing Director and CEO. And a job I did for about 4 years before I voluntarily retired from banking for another career in politics. But while we were there, my team particularly, and I did a lot of work in transforming the bank and making it what it used to be at that time. So from 2014, I joined politics, contested election in Abia for governorship in 2015, contested again in 2019, and I'm still within the political